Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. I'm going to start with this. So the Bank for International Settlements will test DeFi implementation in Forex CBDC markets, and they're planning on doing this mid-2023. Everything looks like it's moving into the first and second quarter of 2023. With inflation raging throughout the world, it's not central bank's finest hour, and still, CBDC is on everyone's agenda. Most recent news reporting BIS launching a cross-border CBDC study, which will use the DeFi. And again, we're going to most likely see Ripple and XRP getting tied in there because of the World Economic Forum. And the BIS has mentioned Ripple in the past. Digital Rupee, RBI, Central Bank Digital Currency, CBDC, pilot starts. What should retail users know? Now, this is big because this is India, and it's also tied to Ripple, and, well, partner of Ripple. But we see how everything is pushing for CBDC still. The 6 winners were announced of the Hong Kong Global Fast Track CBDC competition run by HK McNaw, I can't even say that name, and Invest HK. But here's the thing, it also includes HSBC. Most likely they'll also include Ripple at some point. Everything leads to XRP though. Doesn't matter who they choose for payments, XRP has to be in there for that on-demand liquidity. Brazil, patriot protests rage in the face of corrupt elections and media smears. Now here's the thing, Brazil is fighting back. They don't want another puppet from the World Economic Forum as we see here. This is just the beginning of the pressure. They want a Lula, away from developmentism, Latin America integration, and the BRICS, and who uncritically embraces the climate discourse that covers up imperialist interest in the Amazon. And he's invited by the World Economic Forum to present his project. But the thing is, they don't want it in Brazil. They don't want another World Economic Forum puppet running the show. They want to break away from globalism, green agendas, things like that. They don't want the New World Order. Following Saudi claims of an Iranian attack in planning, the NSC said the U.S. will act in defense of our interests and partners in the region. This comes as U.S.-Saudi security cooperation has come into question following the OPEC oil production cuts. Now, this could be a ploy also by some other country over there. Maybe China is implementing this to test the waters between OPEC and the U.S. to see how strong our ties are with OPEC. OPEC Secretary General, Europe and USA may face recession. Now they know this because I believe the U.S. is headed into an energy crisis starting right after the midterms. Gas has already started moving up in price. I think it's going to get far worse though. Saudi Arabia joins the BRICS countries towards the disappearance of the United States. So now we see Saudi Arabia's on board, which means they also deal with Ripple. We'll talk more about that in a minute. That's not good though. That's pretty much the end of the petrodollar. This is certainly the beginning of a marathon, and we have a long way to go. We're incredibly proud to say that the Bank of England and the Central Bank of Saudi Arabia is a customer of Ripple. Effectively a global reserve currency, if you believe. Now, here's the thing. We know Ripple is always going to be tied to everything because every single country at some point is going to need that on-demand liquidity. I say it all the time because that on-demand liquidity is one of the most important parts of XRP. Sure, you got the cross-border payments, but I believe ODL is where all the money is. Mercury utilizes ODL with RippleNet and XRP to make remittance payments to and from South Africa, another BRICS country. So now that Saudi Arabia joined the BRICS, we know Ripple's tied to them. I just showed you Ripple also tied to India. Now it's tied to South Africa. And it's also tied to Brazil. Q3 report out. Ripple's XRP holdings are below 50% of the total outstanding supply for the first time. ODL went live in Brazil, a key market in LATAM. Total XRP sales by Ripple net of purchases were 310.68 million versus 408.90 million USD the previous quarter. So we know it's South America with Brazil. We know it's also South Africa, India, Saudi Arabia. The only two countries left to talk about is China and Russia. And I do believe XRP and Ripple have a lot of ties over in Asia, so we'll most likely see it tied to China as well. And I believe behind the scenes, there's also work being done with Russia because think about it. Those countries, all of a sudden, they want to back their digital currencies by gold. They have to deal with each other inside of BRICS countries. What would be the best way to do that? XRP as the trust layer. XRP has a patent on ODL, on-demand liquidity. Every transaction, no matter which blockchain, they will need to XRP to bridge money from left to right, much needed when CBDC arrives. So further, the document notes that ODL can be used not only by banks and financial institutions, but also by corporations and government entities, likely covering use in context of a digital central bank currency, CBDC. In various implementations, the originating institution and the destination institution can also compromise clients of the transaction service and can include cross-medium or cross-border transaction and entities, such as large financial institutions, multinational corporate entities, government entities, non-governmental organizations, and the like. And that's why XRP will always be the most important cryptocurrency when it comes to transactions throughout the world. No matter what other blockchain they choose to use, at some point XRP will be included because of ODL. And people keep saying they're going to come up with some sort of alternative to Ripple's XRP. Come on. That's always been FUD from day one. The Bitcoin maxis like to always bring Bitcoin to the table as well. They always say, "Well, I believe Bitcoin's going to be the global currency at some point. Every country's going to implement Bitcoin." It's not true. And anyone who's still investing in Bitcoin, I believe they get one more shot to cash out here soon. And after that, Bitcoin will not do the run-ups like it did in the past. I think everything will be based on utility in the future. Why doesn't Ripple and Joe Katz simply flip the switch and let these bad actors try to play catch me if you can with XRP and ODL on the XRP ledger? Then the US will choose to use XRP as soon as possible. Fact: 95% use cases of XRP are already accepted and used in countries outside of the US. 95%. You look at that map of the world in every single country except the US because of the SEC lawsuit. And everybody wants that flip of the switch moment to happen already. That's why we bought into XRP. That's why we continue to hold XRP. We have people telling us we should never buy XRP because it's the devil's coin and it's only going to hurt the world. But the fact is, CBDCs are happening. I just pointed out how fast tracking they are throughout the globe right now. That is definitely coming. It comes down to a matter of whether or not you want to get rich when CBDCs happen. That's what it all comes down to. Because if we don't invest, it really doesn't matter. I've said it in countless videos. I don't like CBDCs either. I don't like the idea of them seeing every single transaction you make. But guess what? They're going to implement this one way or another. It's already been worked on for years now. Now we're starting to see CBDCs actually go live. Think about that. And the only way you could fight back against this at some point is hopefully somebody gets elected that doesn't want CBDCs, period, writes some sort of bill outlawing them, whatever. But it doesn't look likely at all. Let's face it. When every other country in the world is getting a CBDC, guess what? The US is going to need one as well to keep up with the rest of the world. Innovation is moving very fast. So with that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I just wanted to give you an update on where we are as far as CBDCs, what's going on throughout the world. I wanted to show you that Saudi Arabia now joined the BRICS as well. It's not looking good for the petrodollar. So we'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.